श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्. Now we are in the fourth Anuvaka of Brahmananda Valli. So far, the Upanishad has explained the kosha from Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, and now the greatness of Manomaya is being extolled now, and thereafter it gets into the Vijnanamaya kosha. So in the beginning of this Anuvaka, it says, Yato vacho nivartante apraapya manasasaha anandam brahmano vidvan na bibheti kutascha neti tasyesha eva sharira atma yaf purvasya tasmad va etasmat manomayad anyontar atma vijnanamayah tenaisha purnaha sava esha purusha vidha eva tasya purusha vidhatamanvayam purusha vidhaha tasya shraddhaiva shiraha Vratam Dakshina Pakshaha Satyam Uttarah Pakshaha Yoga Atma Mahappucham Pratishtha Tadapyesha Shloko Bhavati. So, Yato Vacho Nivartante. This is the first sentence. Brahman is that state from which the word written in the sense not properly touching or referring to the Brahman, all words they come back. That means actually all efforts to define and explain the Brahman, they fail, because Brahman cannot be verbally explained, expressed, because the main problem here is what do the words refer to. Generally, when words refer to something, they refer to the substance or quality or action or other states. But when some reality is beyond all these, so how can words refer to that? That is the problem. So therefore, yato vacho nivartante. But another thing is, can mind perceive it? That means, is it within the purview of the mind? No, he says, aprapya manasa saha. That means, mind and words, they cannot reach the Brahman. That is the Brahman, anandam brahmano vidwan. And that the ultimate bliss called Brahma, when a person realizes that, na bibheti kadacha neti, in some texts it is kutascha neti is there. So na bibheti kadachana kutaschana. That means that person knowing the Brahman in this way does not fear from anything, anytime. Tasya isheva sharira atma yaf purvasya. So after that Pranamaya Kosha, now comes the Manomaya, and it is the Atma of Pranamaya. Tasmat va etasmat Manomayat. And again, we cannot stop here at the Manomaya Kosha. There is again innermost, that is Vijnanamaya. The Vijnanamaya Kosha is within, and that Vijnanamaya Atma fills the Manomaya. Therefore, Manomaya is complete with Vijnanamaya. Sava esha purusha vidhayeva tasya purusha vidhatam anvayam purusha vidhaha. So just like the Manomaya, the Pranamaya, the Manomaya also assumes the form of a person. So it is also a person. That means Manomaya is like the self. Purusha vidhata is there. Tasya. And of this Vijnanamaya Purusha, Shraddhaiva Shiraha. Shraddha is the head. Ritam is the right wing. Satyam, it is the left wing. And yoga, that is connectivity or composure, is Atma. And Maha, it is the Pratishtha, that is Pucham. And Maha was explained in the Shiksha Valli. Maha iti tad Brahma tan Maha chamasya pravedayate. So that Maha, that is the Pucham. Tadapyesha Shloko Bhavati. Regarding this Vijnanamaya, there is a popular traditional shloka. So with this, the Anuvaka starts. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Tasya purvasya pranamayasya esha eva atma shariraha. So this Manomaya is the innermost self of the Manomaya, Pranamaya. Manomaya is the soul of Pranamaya, and Pranamaya is the soul of Annamaya. So this way, Sharire, Pranamaye Bhavaha Shariraha. So because this Manomaya is found in the Pranamaya. Yayesha Manomayaha Tasmadva Etasmad Ityadi Purvat Anyontar Atma Vijnanamayaha. So within the Manomaya, the subtler self is known as Vijnanamaya. Anyaha Antaraha Atma. So in Pranamaya you have Manomaya, and within the Manomaya also you have the Vijnanamaya. Manomayasya Abhyantaraha. And it is the self within the Manomaya self. Manomaya, who is that? Already stated in the previous Bhashya, Veda Atma Uktaha. So he is actually of the nature of Veda, because Manomaya is nothing but the Veda mantra. Vedartha Vishya Buddhi Nischayatmika Vijnanam. Because this Veda Artha Vishaya Buddhi, that means the understanding of the meaning of all the Vedas, is Nischayatmika. So regarding the Veda mantra, nobody can raise any doubt, or anybody can have any doubt or illusion, anything. Generally, whenever human beings utter sentences, the human utterances are prone to either doubt or misperception or other problems. But Veda words are not like that. That's why they are Apaurushaya. Apaurushaya, that means Purusha Krita Dosha Rahita. So they are revelations. So therefore, there cannot be any chance of having any kind of blemishes, like man-made blemishes. So when we think of something and compose some sentence, so naturally it is prone to some fallacies, and people may find fault with those sentences, and ultimately people may refute them. But when there are some revelations like the Veda, so people have to rely upon them. And Vedas are like that. Nischayatmika Buddhi. Because the Buddhi, the Vijnana that we get from the Vedas is definitely Nischayatmika. It is assertive and never contradicted. Tacha Adhyavasaya Lakshanam Antahkaranasya Dharmaha. So that Vijnana is the characteristic of Antahkarana, which is the property of Manomaya. So therefore, Manomaya has this Manomaya has the Vijnanamaya for its self, and that Vijnanamaya is of this form. Tanmayo Nischaya Vijnana if Pramana Swarupair Nirvartita Atma. So when the Vijnanamaya is formed inside as the self, then his nature will be of two types. One is Nischaya and another is Vijnana. So Nischaya Vijnana, that means assertive cognition, is the true nature of that Vijnanamaya. And whatever doubts, whatever misapprehensions are there, they pertain to the Manomaya. And when from Manomaya we rise up, we come to the Vijnanamaya, and there will be only assertive knowledge, which is never subjected to any fallacies. Then Pramana Swarupaihi Nirvartitaha. And this kind of self is formed by the Pramana. Pramana are the means of right knowledge. And therefore, whatever reflection is made in the self as right knowledge, he assumes that. Therefore, Vijnanamaya Atma is of the form of Prama. So that is the idea. Pramana Vijnana Purvako hi yajnadir tayate. And of course, all the Vedic rituals, they are performed extensively on the basis of this Pramana. That means each injunction, each statement of the Veda is thoroughly supported by some Pramana. And of course, we have the Shruti as Parama Pramana, because in the Mimamsa system also, the scripture, Vedic scripture, is known as nirapekshaha ravaha. So it does not rely upon any other means for its assertion. It is self-reliant. It is self-authentic. So that kind of revelation is the Veda. Therefore, it does not require any other pramana to attest. And for that reason only, we don't require any other thing to examine the Veda, because we examine everything in the light of the Veda only. And we don't require any other thing to examine the Veda again. Like, to understand the universe, we require the sun. But to see the sun, we don't require any other light. It is self-effulgent. So this way, yajnadi hetutvancha vakshati shlokena. So the Brahman is the source of all vijnana, and that is of the form of yajna. Vijnanam yajnam tante. In the next anuvaka it will be there. So this way, vijnanam, nischaya vijnanam. So this is after all the assertive cognition. Tadvato hi kartavyeshu artheshu purvam shraddhotpadyate. So this is interesting that when a person knows something without any doubts and in its true sense, then automatically within the Shraddha is produced. Shraddha is born. What is Shraddha? It is nothing but understanding or taking something as finally authoritative. When we believe that something is real, it is Shraddha. Because in the Vedic context, Shrat means nothing but Sat. Dha means to put or place. So when we place ourselves in something as ultimately real, the feeling within is known as Shraddha. So naturally, when we know that something is real, uncontradicted, undenied, then automatically within a Sattvika Dharma is produced. It is known as Shraddha. Sa sarvakartavyanam pradhamyat shiraiva shiraha. So because whatever we do, that follows Shraddha. Shraddha is figuratively stated here as the Shiraha, the head of the Vijnanamaya. And in the Veda Bhashya also, in the Yoga Bhashya also, we find that Shraddha Mulo hi Yoga, even the yoga, that is entirely based on the Shraddha. So thus, all our activities are actually raked up or motivated by the Shraddha. So therefore, Shraddha is the Shiraha. Ritam Satyam. Ritam is the right wing and Satyam is the left wing. But these words were already explained in the beginning of this Shiksha Valli, where he said, Ritam cha Swadhyaya Pravachane Satyam cha Swadhyaya Pravachane in the beginning, and Shanno Mitrasham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama, and there also Ritam cha Satyam cha. So ultimately, Ritam is the order of the universe in which everything is perfectly situated and everything is following an order. That is Ritam. And expression of that is Satyam. Satyam is Yadharthe Vangmanase. So this way Ritam Satyam, they have been already explained. Yogaha. What is Yogaha? That is Yuktihi. Yuktihi, that is connecting. Samadhanam. Sam-a-dhanam. That means posing ourselves in something ultimately. Some, the Nirukta says some eki bhave. Some means at one place. Completely. Dha, placing. So when we withdraw ourselves completely and remain in the state of pure consciousness, it is known as samadhanam. Atma iva atma. This yoga is like atma. Atmavato hi yuktasya samadhanavato angani va shraddhadini yathartha pratipatti kshamani bhavanti. So naturally, when we are within ourselves, total samadhi, total yoga, then all these shraddha and all these ritam satyam, they become like the components of this samadhi, and yathartha pratipatti kshamani bhavanti, and they become eligible to perceive the true nature of everything. Ritambhara. So that kind of prajna will be there. Only this Ritambhara will be the result of samadhi. So as the Yoga Sutra says, Nirvichara Vaisharadye Adhyatma Prasadaha, then Ritambhara Tatra Prajna. So this Ritambhara Prajna is the result of samadhi. That samadhi is otherwise known as yoga, and this samadhi has all Shraddha etc. as the Anga. Therefore, Patanjali Maharshi says in the Yoga Sutra, Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, Samadhi, Prajna Purvaka Itaresha. So, it is Upaya Pratyaya that all the aspirants of yoga, like us human beings, if we want to get the fruit of yoga, so we should start our yoga journey from Shraddha. Because when Shraddha is there, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. But the process is given in the sutra that first we get a kind of internal stamina, a kind of strength. This is spiritual strength, virya. Then smriti, that means we will not waver in spiritual matters, smriti. Then samadhi. So naturally, when there is no wavering of mind, our mind gets one-pointed and gradually it gets sublimated. That is samadhi. And out of that samadhi, the prajna arises. The prajna is the spiritual insight. It is called the means to realization, because kaivalya is somewhat far, but this Ritambhara prajna has kaivalya in the next step itself. So that Ritambhara prajna is the result of samadhi. Tasmat samadhanam yoga atma vijnanamayasya. So therefore, the Vijnanamaya has yoga or samadhi for its atma. Maha pucham pratishtha. Then what is the pucham? Pucham means here the tail or the supporting element, maha. What is maha? Maha is mahat tattvam, prathamajam. So whatever is the first product of the Brahman, prathamajam, that is the maha. Mahadyaksham prathamajam Veda Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also says that it is the first creation of the Brahman. It is Shrutyantara. Pucham pratishtha karanatvad. So already explained, because 3 times already we had seen the meaning of pucham. Karanam hi karyanam pratishtha. So it is a general principle that all the products are based or situated on their cause. So the cause is the substratum of all the products. Karanam hi karyanam pratishtha. That's why Brahman is stated to be the ultimate pratishtha of all these things, because everything is ultimately situated in the Brahman, and without Brahman nothing is there. It is impossible. So the Brahman is the pratishtha, and that's why the Bhagavatam says in the Chaturdha Skandha, 10th Adhyaya, Abhasascha Nirodhascha Yatastvadhyavasiyate Sa Ashrayah Param Brahma. So that Ashraya is the Param Brahma. He is the pratishtha. Yatha Vriksha Virudham Prithvi. Just like the Prithvi, all the trees, etc., trees, creepers, everything comes from the earth. Therefore, earth is the pratishtha of everything. Sarva Buddhi Vijnananancha Mahattattvam Karanam. So this same manner, all knowledges, all cognitions, all feelings, emotions, they are all situated in this Vijnana. Therefore, that Mahattattva is the pucham of Vijnanamaya. Tena tad Vijnanamayasya atmanah pratishtha. So because of this Mahattattva, the Vijnanamaya finds some placement. Tadapyesha shloko bhavati. So from the Brahmana Vakya, another shloka is given. Yatha annamayadinam brahmanoktanam prakashaka shloka evam Vijnanamayasyapi. So what is the shloka? That comes in the next Anuvaka. Vijnanam yajnam tanute karmani tanute picha vijnanam devas sarve brahmajyeshtham upasate vijnanam brahmached veda tasmat chena pramadyati sharire papmano hitva sarvan kaman samashnuta iti. So till this, the traditional shloka is given. This Vijnanamaya, now its greatness is extolled here in this part of the Anuvaka. Vijnanam yajnam tanute. So actually, this Vijnanamaya Purusha, he expands the yajna in the form of Vijnana. Actually, this is variously interpreted, but the direct meaning is Yajnam Tanute, that yajna is expanded, because each yajna is an expansion. You take Bhautika Yajna, Vak Yajna, you take Swadhyaya Yajna, Japa Yajna, Jnana Yajna, any Yajna. So ultimately it has an expansion. So this is from Sankalpa to the execution of that. That execution part of it is the expansion. So Vijnanam Yajnam Tanute. So the Vijnanamaya Purusha also performs and executes the Yajna. But Yajna, as I told you, is of several types. So the entire creation and the universe itself is a Yajna. Everything is viewed as Yajna. So we also, in the body, Yajna is going on. When we know something and understand something, it is Yajna. When we eat something and digest it, it is Yajna. And Srushti Karma is Yajna. Pralaya is also Yajna. So that's why in the Bhagavad Gita, Sahayajnam Praja Sruštva Purovacha Prajapatihi Anena Prasavishyadvam Yeshamostu Ishtakamaduk, it says. That means ultimately all beings are created along with Yajna, and Yajna is in the form of Karma. Yajna Karma Samudbhavaha. So therefore, you cannot get rid of Karma. But if Karma is performed without any expectation of the result, that Karma becomes Yajna. So it is a small technique how to convert Karma into Yajna. So if we attach ourselves to Karma and perform in the limited manner, it is Karma. So it becomes a force, a source of bondage. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. But when we understand that the Karma is also a part of the cosmos and everything is following a particular order, then that Karma will become Yajna. Yajnardhat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Bhagavad Gita says that karma, which is not of the form of yajna, will definitely bind us. So that's why all our karma should be aimed at and placed in yajna. So that is actually the realization Shankaracharya also wants to give us. And even the Bhagavad Gita, the original text itself tells us that karma, yajna, they are used in a very deeper sense. Karman tanute picha, and this Vijnanamaya, that means the innermost Vijnanamaya self, he actually does all yajna and does all karma. So the difference is clear. Vijnanam devas sarve brahma jeshtam upasate, and all the divine beings, they understand the Brahma as Vijnana, and they worship Brahma as the foremost, the topmost, the ultimate, because it is of the form of Vijnana. Vijnanam Brahma Ched Veda. And if we can understand and realize this Vijnanam as Brahman, as the cosmic reality, all pervading in all the bodies, then Tasmat Chena Pramadyati. And if we never make any mistake in that realization and do not slip away from that, that means naturally it is very easy to get a particular state, but remaining in that particular state is very difficult, and it becomes the obstacle there. Just like in the Yoga Sutra also we find that Anavasthitatva, Alabdha Bhumikatva, these are very important Yoga Vigna, the obstacles in the spiritual life called Yoga. What happens? Generally we will not be able to achieve the higher state. That is one problem. So we will be in the lower state only all the while, and sometimes it so happens that because of our lower instincts, we get dragged down. So therefore, we cannot remain even in the achieved status. That is the problem. So one problem is not achieving the higher state, and second problem is not being able to remain in the achieved state itself. Both are very big hurdles in the life of yoga. So if we do not make any mistake in our spiritual life and remain in that particular realization that Vijnanam is Brahma, then Sharire Papmano Hitva Sarvan Kaman Samashnuta Iti, then burning and drying out all the sins in the body, we achieve all our desires. That means all our desires get fulfilled. That is Kaman Samashnuta Iti. Tasya esha eva sharira atma yaf purvasya. Now he connects this with Anandamaya. Next. Tasya esha eva sharira atma yaf purvasya. So now this Vijnanamaya is the Atma of the previous Manomaya. Tasmad va etasmad Vijnanamayat. Now we get deep into the dimensions of the self, and now from Vijnanamaya, if we get deeper, we get Atma Anandamaya. So we get the source of everything, the cause of everything, Anandamaya. Tenaisha Purnaha, because of that Anandamaya, the Vijnanamaya is complete. Sava Esha Purusha Vidha Eva, and even Anandamaya takes the form of the Purusha. Tasya Purusha Vidatam Anvayam Purusha Vidhaha Tasya. So this Anandamaya will also have a personality. This is one layer. Tasya Priyameva Shiraha, and the main head, it is Priyam. That means preferring something, liking something. This is Shiraha, like head. And on the right wing, you have Modaha. Modo Dakshinah Pakshaha, Pramoda Uttarah Pakshaha. So Moda is the right wing and Pramoda is the left wing. Both are the degrees of happiness. Ananda Atma, and it doesn't have any other thing as Atma because it is the last one. Beyond Anandamaya, there are no other Mayas. So therefore, Anandamaya is the last. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, and the fifth is Anandamaya. And above Anandamaya, nothing is stated. Therefore, it is the Parabrahma. That's what the conclusion. Atma, and it has Ananda itself for its Atma. Brahma Pucham Pratishtha. And what is the support of this Anandamaya? Where is it placed? It is placed in the Brahma. So therefore, Brahma is the holding element, or you can say the nourishing element of this Anandamaya. That's why in the Brahma Sutra, also in the 6th Adhikarana, you find the 3rd Sutra. It says, Tadhetu Vyapadeshacha. That means Brahman is the repository of all happiness, beatitude, and glee. Because it is blissful, it can give bliss to others. So all beings like us, we get some fraction of that bliss from the Brahman. And Brahman at the macro level is nothing but bliss. So therefore we say Satchit Anandam Brahma. Anandam Brahma we say. So this is the idea. Tadapyesha Shloko Bhavati. Regarding this Anandamaya also, we have the shloka. Now, what Shankaracharya wants to explain here, you see, Vijnanam Yajnam Tanute, Vijnanavanhi Brahma Tanoti, Shraddhadi Purvakam. So, the person who Vijnanavan, that means who gets to that particular state of Vijnanamaya, he Yajnam Tanute, because he has that knowledge of the Yajna, he will expand the Yajna, Shraddhadi Purvakam, with all sincerity and honesty. Ataha Vijnanasya Kartrutvam Tanute iti Karmanicha Tanute. So he is Vijnanam Tanute, he is like the Karta, as if he is doing everything.